Hello! Today I am here to just talk about a feature that I really like in games that some people might actually disagree with, and it is a feature that takes a single player game into a semi-multiplayer game without having the things that are more associated with multiplayer games. For example, sometimes you would like to feel as if you're playing with other people, but having thousands of other people be running on your screen at the same time may seem distracting and take away from the world building and the story, yet you still want to share your experience of experiencing, and you want to know that somebody else has played the same game like you did. Back in about 2010s, some games have tried implementing features like that, and they did it fairly poorly. As in, they would implement an ability for you to post to Twitter directly from the video game. The Sims 3 comes to mind when I'm thinking about that. I don't know why, I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that there was actual social media integration with The Sims 3. Now, I think this is the kind of urge just to see a world lived in by other people and shared with other people, even when the people are not there, and, well, most importantly, when people are not there. I think this is the urge that drives us into empty MMOs and abandoned MMOs. Places where there used to be a bustling population, but there no longer is. There are features that are just like in between, that bridge that gap. For example, Dark Souls messaging system. You'll find funny little quibs that people have put together on the floor as you're playing the game, or you're gonna arrive at a boss fight and you're gonna see somebody's blood puddle, which means that some player has tried to engage the boss and they died. And more recently, I've seen a similar feature inside Infinity Nikki of all places, not of blood puddles and not of notes, but of the ability to share screenshots while inside the game and for other people to summon your character as if you are there right now. I feel like this is the kind of sharing that people normally go to social media for. That they go to Reddit in order to post a picture of themselves in the game going, hey, I am here, this is what I experienced, just to somehow join in into that shared experience of playing together without playing with another person. Soft multiplayer features are this, minus you needing to go to a social media. For example, I know that this person has been here. They have obviously posed in front of this bush. This means that they were probably doing the exact same storyline that I'm doing right now. I mean, for all I know, they just kind of ran here without doing the story, but I would assume that they have done the story. I would assume that they are in about the same place as I am, and that this is a shared experience of, we were here together. There was a time and place in space when that person stood exactly where I am standing right now, experiencing the exact same game that I am experiencing right now, and here I am, sometime later, standing next to them. And then I can share my snapshot with them and be like, hey, took a picture with you, heart. And they will know. They will know that I've been here and that I've taken the picture with them. And they will see it, and it will feed into a shared video game experience. I have done this with quite a few places. I have left myself as a character that can be found. I have taken pictures with other people, especially while people posing while sitting down. I waved at one person as if we're friends. I pointed at another. That person was wishing everybody a good day. There were quite a few people taking pictures with the cat because, well, I assume cat. That's the thing. People like to interact with one another, even when that interaction is small, even when we don't actually want to see another person running around on our screen. And of course, it has its detractions. Like, you're always gonna need a multiplayer connection for these kind of features, which prevents you from playing a game completely offline. Which can be a problem if you have internet that gets interrupted, or if you simply don't want your game to be connecting to the internet whatsoever. The whole dead game versus a live game is a whole different can of worms. I do want to post a video about my appreciation for dead games, but this is not the video about that. In here, I am appreciating the fact that I can find other people inside the game that have been where I've been, and that I can leave a bit of myself for other people to find. I feel like it's a connection of sorts. It's a thing where we're all building off shared joy and experience. It's a bit like going to a forum for a video game, except that it is highly positive and not just filled with complaints about bugs and newest patch features. It's just the pure joy of knowing that another person has been near. That you're not alone, that you're not the first person to see this place, and that you're not the last person to see this place. And when somebody likes your picture or likes your message, you know that there is somebody else out there that's reading it at the moment. And I think this is the kind of thing that even generates people asking the creators of Elden Ring for, will their messaging feature be present inside their DLC that's meant to be as more of a roguelike dungeon exploration sort of thing? To which the answer is no, because if the whole environment is always shifting and changing, there isn't the time to leave a message or for anyone else to read it. But the fact that the question exists means that I am not the only one that appreciate these features of, I want to know that you were there. I want to know that you existed in this game world and that we both shared some joy from it without you actually running around on my screen. Without me needing to actively engage with you and be social with you through chat, through voice chat, through social arrangements, through sharing a boss fight. I can just take note that you were here, and I can leave something back, and we can build off it. And somebody else can come in and they can build off it as well. And it can be just this nice, wholesome, shared experience of, yes, we played this. We have been here. We have found each other. We have seen each other's screenshots of us being here. I am not the only person engaged in this hobby. I am not the only person engaged in this place. You probably understand it because you have been here too. You have shared in the joy or the sadness of experiencing the story and the beauty of the world. And one of the most exhilarating things is when you load into a new area and you're looking around and you're in awe, and then you see a whole bunch of people that have taken screenshots in that area, and you're like, you felt the same thing. You also found this area to be beautiful. You also found this area to be an experience. It amazed you the same way that it's amazing me. And that's why I love soft multiplayer features. I love knowing that someone else was here without me needing to engage with them openly, socially at the same time, without me needing to see a lot of their presence around me all the time. Maybe that is just my introverted ass talking. I do play actual proper MMO games, and I do have time when I set some time aside to be social with other people. I just don't want it all the time. But at the same time, playing alone can get lonely. For example, for The Sims 2, when I'm the most engaged, I go on Reddit and I share what I'm doing and I read about what's happening in other people's games because it is sharing of the doing. It's finding some sort of company in the shared joy of we all have decided to do this very specific thing. It's something that gets lacking when you just get closed off. And when that kind of feature isn't built into a video game, through the sharing of messages, through the sharing of pictures, I appreciate it. And I think that you should hear me appreciating it. I think that sometimes I should just share what I like. And these kind of things are the kind of things that I like. I like finding these sort of things. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I know that this video is short. I normally prepare more serious topics and I discuss them in depth for a longer amount of time, but sometimes you find a thing that sparks joy, and I think that when you find the thing that sparks joy, you should tell other people about it, and you should tell other people that it sparks joy, because we can't just be grumpy old men that share only the things that make us angry, and we definitely can't be philosophers all the time. There needs to be a time for just boundless joy, for enjoyment, for happiness, and I am gonna tell you this, I am happy that this feature is here. I am happy that this exists, and also I am happy about the messaging system in Dark Souls. Even though that's not my game of choice, I like soft multiplayer features. Now, whether you like soft multiplayer features or not, I would love to hear your opinion, because otherwise this is just kind of me ranting at my own screen, and it's a lot less interesting than it sounds, and I think that it sounds pretty not interesting to begin with. So, what do you think? Do you find this an add-on, or do you find it a hindrance? Do you like the presence of other people in your game? Would you prefer it to be an open multiplayer where you can actively see other people run around and interact live at the same time? Do you want it to be a co-op game, or do you want soft multiplayer features? Because I find myself actually wanting soft multiplayer features sometimes and just being happy to see them. Like, I can see them right now. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rant. Thank you so much for my Patreon subscribers that support me making these sort of rants that I know not a lot of people care about. But, come on man, sometimes you just need to share in the joy. And I hope I'm gonna see you in my other videos, on my more serious and well-researched videos. I do have those sometimes. If you're here on this channel for the first time, check out my other content. I tend to do more occult stuff, I tend to do more gothy stuff, I tend to do more tabletop-y stuff. I even tend to do more retro game stuff. See if you like that sort of thing. If you do, I would appreciate if you subscribe. If you don't, that is okay. Thank you for engaging with me for this amount of time, and I hope I get to see you again sometime later. Later? Later! Toodaloo.